Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm joined by the legend today, Ray Winstone. Ray, how are you doing?
I'm all right, yeah. I'm out in Sicily at the moment. I've got some maintenance to do out here and legal paperwork, as they call it. So I'm here for a couple of weeks and then I'm home and I start work hopefully in Wales in a few weeks' time. So I'll be in a bubble, I guess, for about 8 weeks.
Well, not so good on that front. But West Ham, how are you keeping up to date with the West Ham stuff while you're out in Sicily?
Yeah, well, lucky enough, at home and here, we get all the games, down to the coronavirus. I guess, funny enough, even when we were free of the coronavirus, before it all started, you get the Premiership games. You get more games here, I guess, than what you do at home. So, yeah, I've seen every game this season, I think, from the Newcastle game, the first game of the season, where I even posted, it was, I saw players coming onto the pitch who didn't seem to want to be there, who were upset. I think it was over the releasing of the kid that went to West Brom, and it looked like an unhappy dressing room at the time, and we got trounced 4-0, and it was, to me, it was another nail in the coffin of my club, our club, and I couldn't see a light at the end of the tunnel, and I said so. I was told off for it, because being a fan, but it was a spur of the moment, and I meant it at the time. But, the Arsenal game was a kind of turnaround for me. We lost it 2-1. We should never have lost the game. But the players came out of the tunnel with a smile on their face. It looked like they wanted to be there, and that has gone on all season. We've had some close calls, but the spirit of this team at the moment is amazing. I haven't seen spirit in a team like this since probably, we had McAvenny playing and Cotty and all that who enjoyed playing football. I think Moyes has done an absolute splendid job there. Got to give him as much praise as anyone. We got rid of one or two people who just wanted to turn up and get paid. They've gone, thank God. And watching West Ham now for me is, even when we was 2-0 down with 10 men against Newcastle, I fancied us. Up until that point, we wasn't playing great, but we were kind of controlling the game, it seemed to me. And they're sending off through us, and we had 2 silly goals. I mean, there was a couple of scream-ups about Fabianski, and for me, he's the last 2 or 3 seasons, he's been impeccable. He's been fantastic. He made a mistake. Onwards and upwards, kid. You're a fantastic goalkeeper, and you'll come good again, probably this weekend, please God. But, and we've also at the moment, in any other season, we've lost the likes of Rice, Antonio, Masaku, Dawson, I think, is out now for a couple of games because of the suspension. And 1 or 2 other players there, I'd have gone, well, we ain't got a lot of chance. But having said that, I think the spirit in the side, every player, whether he's a squad player, whether he's a first team player, wants to get on the field, wants to do his best. And that's all you ask for as a West Ham fan. You don't ask for nothing else. You don't expect European glory. You don't expect, you'd like to win the FA Cup every now and then. We don't expect to win the Premiership. But now, you kind of do. We were in 4th place last week, we were looking at 3rd. We've dropped now on goal difference. We're level with Chelsea. And this game on Saturday, Chelsea are a good side. The guy who's come into Chelsea, I thought Frank Lampard had done a wonderful job at Chelsea. He had adversity against him at the time because they weren't allowed to buy players, as I recall. And he brought a lot of young players in and done a blinding job. And I think probably he'll be one of our best managers in the years to come, Frank Lampard. But this guy's come in and he's kind of shaped the team in a way that they play well. They're a tough team to beat. But for me, I don't fear them. You can't fear them. If any team's going to turn them over, it's going to be us because we've got a bit of that. And that's what you need. When you're playing the Chelseas and the Liverpools and the Man Uniteds of this world, that's what you need. You need to go out there and believe you can win. And I believe that this team believes that they can beat anyone, on their day.
It's a bit of a random question, but what's your favourite game this season? The reason I ask that is because a couple of seasons ago, you could ask everybody, and everybody would pick the same one usually. But this season, I think everybody would have a different answer for a different reason as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think it was the Arsenal game. I think that was the turning point when we lost 2-1 to Arsenal. It gave me back a belief. And I know it sounds crazy because we lost, but that's being a West Ham fan in a way. But it was a change in attitude. It was a change of players playing, and they played some good football that day as well, West Ham. And didn't deserve to lose the game. In fact, deserved to win it, not just draw it, to win it. I'd have to say that because I could see there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and I could start pulling nails out of the coffin. So for me, I guess it was that one. After that, obviously, you've got to look at the Tottenham game when we were 3-0 down. Dead and buried, and thought, here we go again, because Kane absolutely destroyed us in the first half. And our defence fell apart. And then to come back the way we did showed that we were like lions, It was incredible. That will to win was just cementing the foundation of the Arsenal game for me. And I guess I've got to put that up there with it, And we've done results out all season, I mean, I was in the car, so the game I didn't watch was when we beat Leicester the first time. And I was in the car, I was travelling, I was listening to it on the radio, the reports, you get it on your phone and all that. And I couldn't believe it. We beat Leicester, was it 3-0 or 4-0, I think, that day? And to me, I like Leicester. I think they're a good side, got a good manager. That's the difference this season. I think this season, yes, you've got what they call the big six, but it ain't easy to win a Premiership title this year. There was, for me, you look down at Southampton, who are down near the bottom of the table. Brighton are playing fantastic football. They're playing good football. The trouble is they can't finish. There's not, Southampton are lucky enough to have Ings when he's fit. He's a natural born goal scorer as far as I'm concerned. He's kind of the difference, but he gets injured quite a bit, which is sad for Southampton. Brighton haven't got that. They've got Welbeck, who's playing very well, but he's kind of lost his touch in front of goal a little bit. So you ain't going to go to any of these clubs. Even West Brom turned Chelsea over the other week 5-3. You're not going to go to any of these clubs and have an easy ride anymore. So for you to go and win a title or to end up in the top half of the table, you've done very, very, very well, I think. I
just want to ask you about one man in particular before we move on. Jesse Lingard. What do you make of him?
What a clever bit of business by Moyes. To bring him in, I obviously knew him from when he was at Man United, and David Moyes didn't have a great time at Man United, but he obviously had the respect from Jesse Lingard enough for him to come to West Ham and start playing football again. I think it's been fantastic because losing Antonio up front it was a big blow for us at any point, because we had no one to fill his boots really. That strength and that power and the running and the want. I want to do it. Even when we was playing bad last year, Mikel Antonio was up there putting himself about, So to lose him and then, he does get injured from time to time, as we know. But to have Jesse Lingard there who can play as a forward midfielder or on the wing or go centre forward, it for me is a no-brainer. We've got to buy him. We've got to buy this kid. And you know what? It's not out of the realms of disbelief because the kid's enjoying his football. He's got back into the England squad. He'll want paying the right money, but we've got to give him that money because we want to. We're going to need to speculate to accumulate. And with players like Lingard, there you obviously will attract other players like Declan Rice. Why would you want to go anywhere else when you're enjoying your football so much? To go to a team where you might not play week in and week out. And these kids like to play football. You can see it. We have changed our first team very little this season, and the football's been fantastic. That's the way to go. So I'd love to see Jesse Lingard stay at our club. I think he's great for our club, and I think our club's great for him.
Good man. Ray, Chelsea tomorrow night, massive game for us. We're sitting equal points to them, just behind them on goal difference, 6 games to go in the Premier League season. This is huge.
Absolutely. It's a big moment in our season. With Leicester winning yesterday. I watched Leicester last night. There's always this thing about Leicester, they're going to fall away. Not this year. They played, we're talking about West Brom they played last night. Who are not an easy team to beat. I don't care what anyone says, they're not easy. They've proved that in the past. Now, Big Sam, whatever anyone thinks of Big Sam, he's done a great job at our club, and he's trying to do a good job there. So, for me, tomorrow night is a must-win game. It is like a 6-pointer. Doesn't mean to say it's over, done and dusted, but we can't let them get 3 points in front of us. We need to beat them tomorrow night. A draw, yeah, okay, we're still in it, but I love the win, and I don't see our team not doing it. I fancy it. Don't matter who we put out tomorrow, who we've got fit, who we've got available. I think we'll turn up tomorrow night and play for the team, and that's all you can ask. Get out there, boys, and do the business,
Do you think we'll finish in the top 4 of the season? Are we going to do it, Ray? Are West Ham going to get Champions League football this season?
Yeah, because if you'd asked me any other season, it's like my dreams, they fade and die. I think we're kind of rewriting the song a little bit, I believe in this side. I believe that this team has the belief to go and do it. I love the fact. Do you know what's probably done us a favour this year at the start of the season? Can you imagine 4-0 to Newcastle at home at the beginning of the season in front of the fans? Sometimes it really disappoints me with our fans, and I love West Ham fans all over the world, but we're starting to sound like Tottenham fans. It's like fucking, moaning, getting on the team's back when for years and years past we've always been behind the team. And there's a lot to be said because the team did have heart and it was playing and it was trying. And we've had a few seasons of teams not really being here, not trying. And I can understand that a bit. But that kind of not being in the stadium lark has kind of given our team a chance to cement itself and away from the pressure of people all over and giving them bad vibes. So hopefully when the fans all come back, there'll be a team that'll be cemented and strong and can take that kind of flack. But I'd like to see our fans get behind them instead of put it on them,
Anyway, enough about the football. You've been a busy boy, Ray. You've co-founded a sports management company. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, a great friend of mine, a West Ham fan, Gary Batty, his boy was at West Ham youth. He was training over West Ham. We used to go and watch him and all that kind of stuff. And they had some good boys playing there, some good kids. And it comes to a certain point where these kids are either going to go on or they're going to get released. But they're told on the day, you're not needed no more, and that's it. Some of them have been there since they were 8, and they're about 16 years of age now, and you think, well, what happens to these kids? Where do they go? Where's the backup for them, looking after these kids? And we started looking into it, and, Gary's in a different kind of position to a lot of these kids, where he could look after his boy. His boy, he's got a good family wrapped around him and all that. And he went on to Millwall, of all places, to further his career there, and then moved. And the same thing happened there. And he's now at Luton, where he's just been, thank God, offered a professional contract. But we started looking at all these kids and the lack of education for them, and grooming them into that place of, it's all about success. Well, what happens when you don't succeed? Where do you go? Who's there to help you? So there needs to be something where you educate these kids from a very early age that, what else do you like to do? Do you like photography? Do you like building? Do you think about the army? So they've got something else to think about. You're right, life is not over at 16, 17 years of age, done and dusted. it's quite heartbreaking. I mean, there's cases of people committing suicide, kids committing suicide, families breaking up. I mean, it's as hard for the parents as what it is for the kids. So we felt it was something that we could look into and do something about. You know, we set up an agency where we've been very successful up to now. You know, in a small way, we're still growing. Of moving kids on, finding them different clubs, moving them into different areas of their life that they'd rather be in. So, yeah, so it's all good, and we're growing all the time, and we're speaking to the right people. We've got a group of people that work with us at ISM who are like-minded people, you know, and I'm very pleased and very proud to be a part of that, you know.
Good man, Ray. Keep up the good work. And for you who's watching, obviously, you'll be West Ham fans. Ray's not asked me to say this, but on their website at the minute, they've got a couple of good interviews that'll interest you. Bianca Westwood's spoken to Joe Cole recently. They chat about Jesse Lingard and likes, and also she's spoken to Mark Noble. He's speaking about sort of coming to the end of his playing career at West Ham, the London Stadium not having fans in it and stuff. I'll put the links to both videos in the description and in the pinned comments of this video. So once you finish watching this, go check them out as well. They're 20 minutes long, but they're thoroughly enjoyable. But Ray, last question. I'm going to need a score prediction from you. You don't get to come on here and not put your neck on the line. I need a score prediction for tomorrow night. West Ham against Chelsea. What are you saying?
3-2, West Ham.
Oh, I love that. I love that. He's come prepared as well. But listen, hopefully we'll get Ray on in a couple of weeks where we'll have a thorough chat with him. Myself and Gonzo will have a proper in-depth chat. Get some stories about Ray as a West Ham fan as well for you. But if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. Subscribe to your YouTube channel. Ray, thank you very much again.
Thank you very much, and have a good day, boys. All right, all the best. Ciao. Oh, yeah, you are.